first reading says, "Go prophesy to my people." That was said to Amos. But how does it apply to us to go prophesy to the people of God? And in the second reading, it talks about before the foundation of the world, God chose us and gave us blessings beyond all imagination to be his followers, to follow him in love. Another challenge for us. In the gospel, it says it sent the 12 out. The 12 represents all of his disciples. It includes us. And how do we do that? The world today is in turmoil. 1/3 of the population, over 2 billion people, do not have enough food and water. Now, surely the rest of us could provide the food and water for them. But because of corruption and greed, it hasn't happened, and it doesn't seem like it's going to happen. We somehow are called to do something about it. We are called to gather around the great mission of trying to change the world, to improve it. That's what it means to say, "Go prophesy to my people." But how do we change the world? We begin by changing ourselves, by becoming the best possible person that we can become. And we do that by developing our potential. But we also need a certain amount of discipline for that. Without discipline, instant gratification seems to take over. But with discipline, we can postpone instant gratification so that we can accomplish things in life. We improve ourselves by growing in virtue and also in character. And all this is the beginning when we change ourselves of changing the world. We also can look at the life of Jesus. No one ever spoke the way he spoke. No one ever behaved the way he behaved. He is the model for us to follow. In his life, he not only endorsed, promoted the 10 Commandments, but he did more than that. But just take the 10 Commandments of his native religion. If the world would just follow some of those commandments, thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not bear false witness, thou shalt not covet, just those few commandments. If the world could follow those, it certainly would be different. It's amazing that our people who somehow are frightened by the 10 Commandments. They do not want it to be in a public place. They do not want it to be even on government grounds. And of course, how much the world would be better for those 10 Commandments. But Christ went beyond those. He said the 2 great commandments are to love God and to love your neighbor as yourself. How much better would the world be if people learned how to love God and love their neighbor? Then the world really might be able to be changed. Now, there's one thing that we do not want to be, it seems like. We don't want to be evangelists. We don't want to evangelize because we don't want to offend people. However, we can go about evangelization without offending people. Just sharing some of the things that you believe in without preaching. That is part of evangelization. There is a gentle type of evangelization that takes place with a friend. If you can't talk to a friend about religion or politics, maybe you don't have too much of a friendship. A friend ought to be able to disagree with you, or you disagree with the friend, and still be friends, even though you have different opinions. But in friendship, it's a time that we can share with the friend what our simple beliefs are, what's happening within our soul, that we are inspired by something that we read. We're inspired by going to church. Besides friendship, we can be generous in life beyond our time, talent, and treasure. Be generous in loving others. That's a powerful way of bringing about evangelization. There certainly are things that we could do. We could loan a book to someone, an inspirational book. That should not be too offensive. You could tell them perhaps what you got out of the book. You could loan a CD. You could invite them to some event that's religious. You could speak about religion in a way that's not going to be offensive. You could help the other person to formulate questions about our religion and answers about it, and how desperately we need sometimes answers to our religion. We have to find those out for ourselves. Yes, when Yahweh told Amos, prophesy to my people, he's telling each one of us to prophesy to his people, which include the whole world. You know, St. Francis had that thing about evangelization. Evangelize always, even when words are not used. To evangelize always by your way of life. And then sometimes words can be used in a gentle way to bring about evangelization. Yes, Jesus sent the 12 out to change the world. What chance did they have of changing the world? Those 12 people. Very little chance. In the midst of the Roman Empire, on the outskirts of it, where they belonged to a nation that was occupied by this power. Yet we know that the Roman Empire came to an end. And when it came to an end, Christianity was a powerful force in the world. And even though Christianity at times begins to die, it comes back again. It comes back even more powerful than ever before. These are some of the things we could learn about and talk about. How, yes, Christianity is composed of individuals that make mistakes. But how about the great things about Christianity? How about the $18 billion a year in our own country that Catholic education saves the taxpayer? How about all that Catholic Charities does all around the country and around the world? How about Catholic health systems? Oh, we have many great treasures in the Catholic faith that we can talk about. That's part of evangelization. No matter what our failings might be, our failings as a church, in a way, are similar to the failings of our country. We have made mistakes as a country. Individuals have. However, the basic thrust of the country is to do so much good in the world here and around the world. And the church is even more amazing than that. Despite its faults and its failures that we should apologize for, it somehow lifts up the soul of humanity to something that's even beyond and higher than the human, that we love one another. What religion like our religion says, love your enemy? Forgive your enemy. We saw those Protestant Catholics in Baltimore, the 9 of them and their families. They forgave that insane man who took away the treasures of their life. They forgave because they believed. Just telling that story again, and how powerful religion can be in changing this world of ours.